Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen today, I want to talk a little bit about Progenity Incorporated. Obviously, this is Prog stock, or ticker symbol PROG. I know we've talked about it a lot previously on this channel, and this is a very, very volatile and interesting stock to follow. There's always something going on with Prog stock, whether it's shooting up towards the moon, crashing right back down, or everything in between. There's always a new catalyst, a new story, positive or negatively, coming out, and there's just always a ton to talk about, and these videos do pretty well on my channel, so I wanted to dive into Progenity once again. Obviously, today was not the best single day for the stock. We were down 3.24% on Prog, and that's a little bit disappointing, a little bit disheartening, because today was a decent day in the markets. You know, the Dow Jones is up 0.1%, the S&P's up around 0.25%. I don't know if I said down for the Dow Jones or not, but I meant up, and Nasdaq's up about 0.25% as well. The Russell was actually down, so you know, overall smaller caps not doing as good, so maybe, you know, at the end of the day, it's not the worst sign in the world for Progenity, but it does suck when the markets are up, other companies are making money, everybody's making money, and, you know, your stock, your company, your holdings, whatever, are going down. That's not a great feeling, and you'd like to be doing well on these up days, because, you know, on down days in the market, usually Progenity is hit overly hard, so if they're hit hard on the good days as well, that's not really a great sign. But in this video today, I did want to go over, you know, some stories surrounding Progenity right now, what some people are saying around, you know, social media and about Prog, and some of the good news coming out, and some potential interesting things they have going on behind the scenes right now that could be very, very meaningful for the stock going forward. So definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy this. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content, and consider checking out the first link in the description below for the Patreon we have going on. Every dollar that goes into that Patreon goes into our YouTube portfolio that we track weekly and publicly on this channel. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, like I said, Prog stock, always very, very volatile, always up and down, but this year, it's been very much so down. I don't know if there's been a single green day in 2022 for Prog yet, and that has us at minus 20% down to start the year. That is tough, because I know there were a decent amount of people, at least out there, that thought 2022 would start off with a bang for Progenity and a lot of these smaller cap stocks, because they were under the assumption, at least partially, that the reason why this stock ended the year so kind of weak, you know, I mean, from November 19th to the end of the year, we're down 63%, was at least in part due so to tax loss harvesting. You know, this is a company that was down 68, almost 70% in 2021. So there was obviously a lot of opportunity for tax loss harvesting. This was a stock that a lot of people were down on. The people who were invested in it were down on it throughout the year. So now that tax loss harvesting was over in 2022, you know, we're supposed to get people buying back in. Now, obviously, that can still happen throughout the rest of January, depending on when people sold in December. But so far, that hasn't necessarily been, you know, a positive catalyst for Prog. But again, the broader markets have not been doing that great into 2022 already. Obviously, there is all the concerns with Fed rate hiking and you know, inflation, and just all the million different other things going on right now, let alone, you know, issues or problems that people have with Progenity specifically. But I know there were some different people talking about different Prog, DD, and everything, as usual, on the subreddit. There was this one post talking about DD on Investor Place, know what you hold. So this guy did a little bit of research into Investor Place and is kind of making some accusatory statements, obviously, going over all the different times that Investor Place wrote either positive or negative articles about Prog. And you can see here, you know, August, September, October, really throughout all of October, they wrote only a total of 2 negative pieces, and it seemed like they were just talking very, very positively about Prog, and things were going very, very well. But then kind of, you know, as they point out, as soon as we got into November, things kind of soured pretty quickly, and all of a sudden a majority of the articles became negative about Prog. And you know, it's at least making this person wonder, you know, what the heck is going on, and also just kind of letting people know to be careful about what you read on social media, the different kind of content you consume, and to not get swallowed up by it, and also to understand that, you know, these places have agendas and stuff sometimes as well. Because you can see, again, as they were posting all these positive articles, you know, we saw these upward price movements now, or the upward price movements related to all the positive articles being written, or the positive articles being written related to all of the upward price movement we're seeing. Who knows? But then again, the articles become negative, and then we see this sell-off. So again, is this sell-off related to more negative articles being written, or are more negative articles being written because we're starting to see a sell-off? You know, who knows exactly, but just kind of a nice reminder to know what you hold, do your own research, and don't listen too much to other people, even the publishers like Investor Place who generate FUD. You know, something always to kind of be careful about. But I did think it was interesting at the bottom here what they say here. If you want to take your mind off negative comments about Progeny, you should remember what happened when the short squeeze was on the way. What did the insiders do when the price went higher than $6 per share? The answer is nothing. The big holders, like the ex-CEO Harry Stiley, did not sell any shares. They did not sell because they are the true potential of Progeny, and they know that they could sell their shares at a much higher price later. Now, again, obviously that's a lot of speculation, a lot of assumptions and stuff there, but I did think it was kind of interesting, and I think overall the point about, kind of being careful about what people are saying and reading too much into, negative or positive kind of opinions from people about stuff, to be a little bit wary of that, because obviously we see a ton of that on YouTube, on Reddit, on Twitter, all over the place, and who knows what's good info, bad info, anything like that. But one of the big stories coming out that people are talking about for Progeny recently that could potentially be a very, very big catalyst was new evidence of Prog working with PFE. PFE is Pfizer, for those of you that don't know. So this is very, very interesting, and it links to Twitter, and here they link this thing that says, Prog PFE, Pfizer developing a biorelevant dissolution method for an extrudable core system, ECS, osmotic tablet to support the clinical study of vitro in vivo correlation, IVIVC, of the first commercially approved single-layer extrudable core system, ECS, osmotic tablet, and then it's just some scientific research that they did post along the stuff, kind of going over the things that they just said here. The work was funded by Pfizer, and then there's a lot of people asking like what does this have to do with Prog? And then this guy kind of follows up and clarifies and said, of course, Prog devices at their core are osmotic tablets. Traditionally they do with the polymer coatings and laser drilled holes. Prog devices at the core do the same thing but electronically and with other mechanisms, but still osmotic pump based. Again, so this doesn't give us any, nothing here, this tweet, this kind of research doesn't give us any hard, firm evidence that there's any link between Prog and Pfizer or anything like that, but it's at least potential. They're doing research on those same systems, using the same kind of mechanics, using the same, types of things to facilitate their research and everything. And this has some people, kind of assuming or wondering, are they working with Prog? Since a lot of what Prog does is very, very similar to this, it would make sense if these companies kind of got together for research and studies, or maybe they're researching, for a potential partnership or business deal or something like that in the future. It is kind of interesting. This guy, True X Demon, says, excellent find, Ecom. There's a huge link between Prog and Pfizer. It's still not a definitive confirmation, but definitely further evidence to support our thesis of an ongoing partnership. So it does, at least there is a lot of people, hinting at a potential ongoing relationship with Prog and Pfizer, and this could be a very, very big deal. But again, this is still pretty much extreme speculation and extreme assumptions being made at this point. But there is a lot of people buying into this and thinking that this could have a, a relevant move on the stock price overall, just even being positively associated with a massive, massive company and brand like Pfizer, especially at a time like this, could be very, very interesting for Prog stock. But, we'll have to see if that plays out. I don't know. That's just kind of one of the interesting and ongoing theories right now. But yeah, so far, a rough start to the year for Prog, but still, for people who believe in this thing long-term, people who are excited about the company, the stock, whatever, it does seem like more and more opportunities to buy the dip, and it does still seem like there's some interesting and positive stories and things going on behind the scenes for Progeny. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about Prog. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Hopefully catch you guys on the next one. But until then, peace.